Today is National Women and Girls HIV/AIDS Awareness Day. And according to the CDC, in 2021, 18% of the new HIV diagnoses in the U.S. were among women. So here to tell us more, Executive Director of Townspeople, we have Melissa Peterman joining us. Melissa, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
This is very important to discuss. Obviously, not just today, but every day we should be aware of this. Tell us about what you do with Townspeople, what's the organization about, and how we can help out.
Yeah, Townspeople, we've been around for 40 years. We were formed in the 80s in response to the HIV/AIDS epidemic and have always been focused on ensuring that folks living with HIV/AIDS have access to housing. And luckily, over time, treatment has improved, people are living longer, which is amazing. But it's still a prevalent issue in our community, in the United States, across the world. And what we do is work really hard to bring awareness to the issue so that we can help to prevent new infections and then improve health outcomes for folks who are living with that diagnosis.
Yeah.
And women are often overlooked
Right.
as a population that is at risk for infection. And like you said, 18% of new infections are among women. And in San Diego, I believe it's 19% of new infections. So not too out of range of the national average, but it's still a significant amount of people when you kind of think about like who is at risk or who's living with the disease, and can be really isolating for women.
I would imagine. Let's talk about that, because the challenges, especially for women, to hear that number, I think surprises a lot of people. What are some of the challenges, the stigma women might face when dealing with HIV and AIDS?
Yeah, the first thing that comes to mind is the impact it has on relationships and parenting, if you're a mother, and how you are perceived and your ability to provide care, right? I think people can feel, there's a lot of shame that folks can feel. And what we at Townspeople, one of the things we try to do, and the month of March being Women's History Month, we, a few years ago, started a community art celebration called From the Heart. And so we invite community members to make motivational hearts and hearts that demonstrate or show folks that they're seen and valued and loved. And then we display those in our windows through the month of March. And this year we've gotten over 90 hearts, which is so cool. We've gotten them from, there's an art studio in Hillcrest and La Mesa Revision. Their artists made. Yeah.
We're seeing some of the images here.
They are.
You are perfect the way you are. Just be you. What great messages.
Yeah, and so we, and if folks are still wanting to make hearts, our goal is to just fill our windows with, words of affirmation and love, and we don't want people to feel seen and not overlooked, and I think that's a big part of, obviously, medical treatment is the part, but it helps to have that sense of care,
because to feel isolated on top of the diagnosis, that's got to be really tough to go through. The name alone, Townspeople, I mean, it's people coming together to support each other. You mentioned, the importance of that, but what can people do that are watching right now that may want to help out, be a part of this group to support each other?
Absolutely, yeah. You can make, if you're feeling creative and crafty, you want to make a heart that shows folks like, hey, I see you, we're here for you. You can make one and mail it into our office or drop it by, and we'll add it to the display.
Beautiful.
And if folks are interested in learning more, they can visit our website, townspeople.org. And we're always looking for volunteers to come help with. We own and operate affordable housing, and so there's different projects that we do and are able to do with the help of the community. So
that's great. So you provide housing for people that have been going through HIV and AIDS.
Yeah.
Okay, incredible. Important work that you're doing. Thank you for doing that here.
Thank you so much for sharing helping raise awareness. It's really appreciated.
And if you want to get crafty, I love this idea. Put hearts in the window. We got to fill it all up.
Yeah.
Thank you, Melissa.
Thank you.
Great to meet you today.
Nice to meet you too.